So to get started, I just have my scene set up like this. I've got a cylinder in the center, the camera pointed at it. Then if you head over to the shading tab here, and the lighting, I'm just go to rendered preview. I'm using the cycles renderer, and I just unchecked scene world and selected the forest 3D lighting. So to get started, just select your cylinder and press new here. Then you can name it tin for your name here. Then press Shift A and search for a wave texture, like so. And then you're going to want to press Control T with this selected. And if that doesn't work, go to Edit Preferences, Add-ons, and search up for the Node Wrangler add-on and hit the checkbox right here. Then you can select it and press Control T. Then we can Control Shift and left click to preview this wave texture. And as you can see, the bands aren't going where we want them to be. So we're going to switch this to UV coordinates into our mapping here. And then we're going to go ahead and change this X to the Y so that we get the horizontal ones. Then I'm going to select these and then grab them and move them a little bit to the left. And then I'm going to change the scale to a 10. Then I'll press Shift A, search for a map range node so that I can further adjust this. And then we're going to bring in some of these values. So we're going to take this from maximum here and switch it to a 0.3 like this, which will up the contrast quite a bit. And then we're going to take this to minimum value here and switch it to a 0.5 to blur it a little bit more. Then we're going to press Shift A and we're going to search for an invert node to factor this into our bump because we want to invert the values. And then we're going to press Shift A again and search for a bump node, or place that right here. Then we can plug this normal into the normal down here. I'll just go ahead and grab these guys and move them down here like this. So now we have our bump, and if we preview our shader by Control Shift and left clicking, we can see that we sort of have the tin can effect happening. Now we're going to factor in some roughness. So we'll hit Shift A, search for another invert node like this, take the result of our color here on this into this color. So we're not using the map range this time. So then we'll preview this with Control Shift and left click, and then we're going to press Shift A again, search for another map range node here, put that after the invert node. And then on this map range node, we're going to take this to minimum value here and switch it to a 0.15. And then the to maximum to a 0.4. So what this is saying is the minimum roughness is a 0.15 and the max is a 0.4. And then to adjust this in however we want, we're going to hit Shift A and search for another math node here. We're going to take both of these values and switch them to a 0 like this. Then we can take the result of this map range and put it into the add right here. Control Shift and left click this guy. And we can check clamp. So what this allows us to do is we can increase this to increase the overall roughness, or we can decrease its negative values to make the tin more shiny. So then we'll just take the result of this and put it into our roughness here. Then we're going to simply take our metallic on the shader and move it up to a 1. And then for the color on this guy, we're just going to switch that to the tin color, which is a hex value of 919191. Again, that is 919191, like this. So then we can Control Shift and left click on our shader here, and we can see that we have the finished material like this. So to adjust the roughness, obviously you can increase this to get a more rougher can look, and obviously you can decrease it, and it gets rougher around the flatter parts, and on the outsides it gets a little bit more shiny, just like it would actually be if it was being moved around in real life. So yeah, anyways, that is the finished tin can material. Hopefully y'all enjoyed and can use this in your renders. I'll see you on the next one.